You're welcome to another episode of the Natalie Fort Show right here on GHOne TV, where we bring you nothing but conversations that matter. We've got just a few days, in fact, to the 2024 general elections right here in Ghana, an elections that has been declared to be what is going to be rather historic one. Tonight, I'm seated with Dr. Hassan Ayariga, leader and founder of the APC All People's Congress. Now, he believes in all-inclusive governance. He has a long professional history and now has strong political hopes. He joins us here on the Natalie Fort Show. It's a pleasure to have you, Dr. Hassan Ayariga.
Pleasure to be here, Natalie. How are you?
I'm excellent. How are you doing?
You look good.
Thank you. You look very spirited yourself. Days to the election.
You. 33 days, 32 days, I guess.
Right.
It's a long day.
It's a busy period for you,
but
of course.
It's still a long way.
You think it's a long period?
Yeah.
Still?
People can make decisions based on 1 hour.
1 hour can change a person's
1
mind.
hour. People make decisions when they enter the ballot box. So
on the spur of the moment.
Yes, on the spur of voting. A political leader can make a comment and will change the entire voting pattern within 1 minute. So 32 days,
It's
31
a long
days,
time for you.
it's a long time to campaign. It's not that easy, but it's still a long way to go. Things can happen in 32 days.
We'll get to politics, heavy on politics in just a few minutes.
Sure, Natalie.
But here's how we always start off the Natalie Fort Show. It's by asking, as we sit right now, what's the state of Hassan Ayariga's life?
Hassan Ayariga is a 52 years young man, businessman.
52 years young man, I like that.
Philanthropist, a politician, a family man of 5, Ghanaian by birth, from a community that is having troubles, which I'm sad about it, Boku, precisely where I come from. And then my father is a Kusasi by tribe, my mother a Mampusi. And you can see the two of them fighting.
Yeah.
So
That must be difficult to watch.
It's difficult for me that any part or any side that is being killed is a family member. So I am losing family members by the day, and I can never be happy. And running for president is the worst thing that you can think of. How do you tell the people what? But government is in power, and that is why I've been asking government to come clear with the issue of Boko and to give decisive leadership and come with its stand, because
Does
government
understand
stand.
the dynamics of this issue? It's very delicate. It's very tribalistic. Does government comprehend how to deal with it? Because yes, we've had government, talking about the security services and of course a curfew. Are these measures ones that the Boko people understand?
The problem needs to be resolved. The solution is dialogue. You dialogue with the people and find a lasting solution. Boku's problem is over 50 years. I was born in the problem. And I want to end. I will end the problem as president of the Republic of Ghana.
As president, you're going to end. You are from there after all.
Yes.
So you understand
and both of them are my family.
Our family.
So I will invite them on a round table and end the Boku issues once and for all when I become president.
How differently will you end the problem?
Dialogue.
What was it like growing up in Boko?
Life growing up?
You grew up in Boko, didn't you?
Well, beautiful.
Yeah.
That time, very interesting. Boko was a business town. If you're in Boko and you don't make money, I don't think there's any part of the country that you can make money. I'm telling you, look at 2 borders beside Boko. Boko has a border. Sankasi is close. Burkina Faso B2 is there. So you have 3 countries sharing borders. So business,
trade.
I intend even to put up an airport there.
In Boko?
Yes, in Boko, so that people moving from Burkina Faso, they don't need to go to Tamale to fly. They can just fly from there. People from Sankans, it will become a business center. That movement around the coastal areas, the northern part there, savannah part there, will be fine. Okay? But look at what is happening. I don't want to tell you, but it's escalating and it's coming to affect other regions. It has already affected a region like Northeast. Look at this scenario. We have the 3 top politicians, all coming from that sector, the northern part. Hassan Ayariga is coming from Baku. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is coming from Savannah. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is coming from the Gonja land. And these 3 leaders have not sat down, to the three of them, to find a solution to the problems affecting.
Can you not propose that?
I am proposing.
You are proposing it through this medium. You haven't proposed it prior.
I have said it severally, but I'm proposing it again.
Through this platform.
That this is the time for these three candidates to find a solution rather than playing politics with it. Let's look at it ourselves, each other, and tell the three of us, let's sit on a round table.
You, Bawumia, and
yes,
Mahama.
Including the president.
And President Akufo-Addo.
Yes, of course, because he's the current
Because
president.
he's the sitting president.
He should be there. And the four of us should have a round table, sit down and bring the issues of conflict in the Boko. And let's look each other in the face and address it. When we are able to address it, we can now invite security agencies and other institutions to come and listen, and we listen to their views, and then now we can tell them our views. This problem will be solved in 1 week.
Now, Dr. Hassan Ayariga, I'd ask that you hold your thoughts there briefly. We'll delve some more into issues related to Boko and your plans for the APC, if elected, come December 7th. Stay with us here on The Natalie Fort Show. You're welcome back to The Natalie Fort Show. I'm in conversation with Dr. Hassan Ayariga. Now, you've touched on Boko and the conflict with regards to Boko, and you say that you call on Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Mahama, as well as the current president, of course, President Akufo-Addo, and yourself to dialogue as per how to resolve this conflict, right? Now, very briefly, growing up in Boko, how do you feel like it shaped you and your aspirations to want to become president of Ghana?
You know, my father was the first MP for the area under the Dr. Hilal Imam's regime. He was a parliamentary candidate. He's Frank Abdullah Ayariga. So we grew up in a political family. Myself, Mahama Ayariga, Usman Ayariga, we are all one family. We're one family from this. I'm the eldest among them, followed by Mahama Ayariga. Our last born is Usman Ayariga, who is the NDC deputy youth organizer. So you see, we're a very big family and a political family. Right. So we learned and saw this from our father as a parliamentary candidate who contributed a lot to the community development. Bought tractors, combined harvesters, motorcycles, bicycles, donations, food, improving agriculture and all that farming. So Boko was so lovely. I mean, it was, even though a developing community, it was interesting with the kind of relationship people have. And every day I tell you that every day we kill guinea fowl, eat guinea fowl eggs and all that, because people were donating at that time to parliamentary candidates, not the other way around. So they call me MPB. MPB means the MP son. So when they come to greet my father, they'll come with every sort of thing. My father would say, no, I don't like it. Send it back. They say, no, the things you've done for us, we don't know how to appreciate you. So they'll bring, those days, the gifts were guinea fowl and all that thing. So they'll bring them, either I'll take my own and go slap them. In the afternoon, I'm roasting and eat. I mean, it was so interesting growing up in Boko. So it shaped me towards becoming a leader, emulating the good work of my dad.
Father.
Because what I saw was totally different. And that is what brought me into politics. That what pushed me. And because all the time we sit in the car, I keep hearing, oh, I have to help these people. I have to send money to this. He's writing their names, and then
supporting people.
People he has to support. He write the list. The list tonight. They are going to share foodstuff and resources too. That was all.
So this is what you saw,
That's
basically.
What I saw. And the good name, the good word. So for me, politics was something to help. Politics was to help the community build a sustainable economy, build a country where people
thrive.
Yes. But now, what I see...
Politics has changed?
It's totally... Even if it has changed to the extent that if former President Nkrumah comes back, he can't win election in Ghana. He can never win any election in Ghana.
Why?
The dynamics have changed. People are not interested in policies anymore. People are interested in money. People do not want to listen to policies, leadership. People are only... Every sector or the institutions that help in promoting politics are biased.
People don't care about having a leader with a vision?
Yeah, they don't care about a leader. They care about who gives them money to vote. And at the end of the day, you cannot ask for accountability and probity. Because if you are promoting corruption, you are nurturing corruption. And I'm becoming corrupt as a leader. How then do you come to me and ask for?
Why do you think it's changed?
Why I think it's changed is because politicians themselves have changed the narratives. They're not doing the right thing. As politicians, they are not doing the right thing. As citizens, we are not asking the hard question and demanding for justice, accountability, and probity. So they get away with it. You keep voting the people who keep destroying your country, who keep changing the things to fit themselves, who are selfish and corrupt. Okay, you keep giving them power. What do you expect them to do? So they keep coming and bribing you with money, and you don't ask them the questions where all these monies are coming. You take it and you vote them.
So it's an unending cycle of...
Yeah, so you are part of promoting this corruption.
And by the people, these corrupt people or parties, you're referring specifically, I believe, to the MDC and the MPP, the two major political parties
for them,
in Ghana.
It's business. For them, it's game. For them, you see, I sit in this office, and anybody who comes to this office is coming to take. Is coming to tell me his problem.
Obviously, you're giving out quite a lot within a day, I
They
presume.
sit in their office, and people who come are coming with bats.
You sit in your office, and you are coming to give to the people who come and visit you.
Yes, they come and I give. Like somebody who comes with his problem, his house rent he hasn't paid, I listen to him carefully, I interview, investigate to see whether it is a house problem. Because there are situations where I've helped people and they were all lies.
I can imagine.
So I don't want to be fall in that kind of game anymore. So you come with a problem, I'll listen to you. If it's nice, I'll tell my general secretary or one of my aides, go and look at this problem. If we can solve, we have some funds in our foundation. Is it there? Yes, please help them. I am not helping you because I don't.
How different is it though?
I don't even ask you whether you are voting. You have a voter's ID card.
You don't ask.
I don't need that. That's
so is it philanthropy? Is it
philanthropy?
Is it philanthropy?
It's my heart. I've learned it from my dad.
I understand that, but is it?
So for me,
at the end of the day, it's still politics. And
no.
Okay, so for you, is it okay when you say you don't do that
because of politics?
You don't do that because
if I'm going to do that because of politics, I will not open my door
to these people.
No, because the people who come here are more than the people who voted for me.
So what is your why then?
My why is that I'm just that kind of person who has love for the people, who use my money right from my period of 16, when I was 16, 17, 18. I started doing that until I was 40 and even started running for president. I was not doing that with an intention to run for president, but I've learned that from my home. Charity begins at home. That's what I know. That's what I've learned. So for us in our family, give. The 100 gives.
Why the APC? You have others in your family, as you cited, who, for instance, are part of the NDC. Why the APC for you? Why do you feel like it's the best platform and medium?
Every political party has an ideology and a philosophy. I grew up in the Socialist Forum. That's the PNP, People's National Party, to the Heritage, to PNC. And our ideology is Socialist Political Forum. That is why in 2012, 2016, 2012, when I was presidential candidate of the PNC, people thought I was supporting the NDC because I was promoting the Socialist Forum. And once you are promoting the Socialist Forum, exactly you're promoting Socialist Front. And the Socialist Political Party is the NDC. Today, somebody would think that I am supporting NPP and supporting NDC. Yes, because I am not supporting NDC, I am not supporting NPP, but I have a hybrid of the two. The liberal principle which allows socialists and democrats. Are you getting what I'm saying? So you will see me talking along certain policies of mine that believes in capitalism and certain policies of mine that believe in socialism. So when I'm promoting the socialism, those in the NDC will say, hey, Ayariga,
praise you.
When I'm promoting capitalism, those in the NPP will be happy. But for me, I've come to the realization that what we need as a country, a growing democracy, is the two. We need the two. We need both of them. We need systems that will build the country to allow businessmen, private companies to grow. That's the capitalist forum. Government should create an enabling environment to allow these companies and businesses to grow, so that when they are paying taxes, We then use this money that those who cannot afford, we will give them room and promote them to a certain stage where they can also grow to fit into the other part of it. So you cannot say, I want to deal with only socialist forum and become a social intervention political entirely and leave this aspect. Now it allows
a balance,
right. And also allow political party members from both NDC and MPP to admire me and join my party.
Now, talk about the word admiration, right? Does it bother you? You say many people who visit you, you know that they most probably are not going to vote for the APC come December 7th. You assume. Does it worry you? Is it admiration alone enough?
What makes me happy is when I solve problems. That's me. When I'm solving problems, I'm becoming very, very happy.
So it doesn't bother you that we're in a country that is so heavy on two parties, MPP and
that is
NDC,
why I want to become.
And you don't. I won't say your efforts going in vain, but does that bother you?
What bothers me is that I am not happy with the kind of leadership that I see. But what makes me happy is that I am proposing policies that the Ghanaian people are beginning to believe in those policies. And I don't mind.
But does it bother you that the Ghanaian people, as you said, do not appear to vote so much based on policies?
It takes time. It bothers me. Yes, of course it does. But you see, you cannot change people over the day, overnight. If you want to change people, you have to involve them in the process of change for change to be effected. I'm building a career. I'm building institutions. I'm building myself. I'm making Ghanaians to be. I'm not in a rush to become president, but I'm in a rush to solve Ghana's crisis. So the policies of the APC is so unique to the extent that any party that will approach me, even after 2024, and form an alliance with me or say, look, Ayariga, these are the policies you have, and they're the best policies we all know. This can build Ghana. I'll be willing to support that particular.
You'd be willing to form an alliance with
to build that
one of these larger political parties?
Alliance with any party. It doesn't matter whether large or small or medium. I'm calling on all these minority parties to join me so that we could form the third force. But it looks as if they're not prepared.
Talking about the third force, we have Alan Trementing.
You see, these movements are different from
a party. Yes, I'm aware. Right.
Movements have expiration date.
You think that's expired?
They expire after elections.
You think the movement for change has expired? So the movement for change has expired as it stands?
No, they expire after elections.
Movements expire after elections?
Yes, they're not parties.
Longevity.
Yes, they're just there. So that's why they're independent. And that's why I was so, you see, in this Ghana, we need dialogue. We need consensus building.
You said you were so worried?
I was so disappointed when the Speaker of Parliament did not consult before giving his ruling on the issue of the 4
seats declared vacant.
I have a different opinion. And I think that because we're a young democracy growing, we have not gotten to the stage where we will not be seeing different things, new things and new challenges. So far, if you see the period of this Fourth Republic, we've seen a lot of new things that has hit us, and we find it very difficult to come out of it.
So what's your stance on how he should have approached it?
Look, first of all, I think he should have consulted the former speakers of Parliament, have a dialogue with the President, have a dialogue with the former President, have a dialogue with the chiefs, the Supreme Court judges, and sit down and say, we have been confronted by a new dimension in our democratical dispensation. I am Speaker. I want to give a ruling that is fair, that the Ghanaian people, because we are a young democracy growing, what is your opinion on these circumstances?
What's the best?
What is the best solution? Because democracy, we are all learning. We are part of it. And as a matter of fact, we want to build a democratical country that people will emulate. So let us not make decisions that will affect us. So what is your opinion on the table? They will all come out with various opinions. And then after consultation, you now know what to do. Because this is something new. This is my opinion. Listen very carefully. The Formina guy is an independent candidate. As independent candidate moving into Parliament,
Right.
He moves into parliament as an independent person, no attachment to any political party. So he stands as an individual person. Today, he can sit with NDC and nobody will say he has crossed carpet. Tomorrow, he can move and sit with MPP and nobody will say he has crossed carpet. Do you agree with that?
You are proposing that this is how he approached it in Parliament?
Yes, this is how it is done in Parliament. He can sit anywhere. He can decide to change his sittings. He can decide to say that I'm sitting with the NDC.
On this day?
I'm going to be with the NDC. I'm not going to be with the MPP. And it's adapted. If he just tied with the NDC and think that their policies are not what he wants, he can move and sit with the MPP. The speaker cannot stop him. Because he is not holding any political card, party card. He is not crossing carpet when he sits with any of them. Because he's independent. So an independent person has no party card. So wherever he sits, there's no problem. So if he decides to say, I am going to run, listen very carefully. This is something Ghanaians must listen very carefully. So if he decides to say that in the coming election he's going to the ticket of the MPP, he still will not lose his independence because the independent is not a party.
As an independent, he's not attached to any political
Yes,
party, basically, is what you're saying.
Yes. So when he decides to say, I am going to the ticket of MPP in the coming election, he has not picked. Even if he picks a card of the MPP to become their member,
Right.
he still hasn't crossed carpet as an independent candidate.
Will this really work on
He hasn't crossed carpet. That, so far as I'm aware, he hasn't crossed carpet. He has only joined the party. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do get you.
I get.
A
party. He hasn't crossed it.
I get you, and I
crossing
get what
carpet is, for instance,
it's choosing to officially
from MPP
join
member who is a party
a card-bearing member to officially joining
another party. That's cross carpet.
Another party.
The other way around is the same.
Now, Mr. Ayariga, I see that you simply put, you had an issue with how the speaker dealt with this, right? And you believe that more dialogue is necessary.
It's just like what has happened right now
politics.
with the queer Donko. We've never had that.
So these are new dynamics to our politics that require a certain level of dialogue from all stakeholders. We'll explore that some more shortly here on the Natalie Fort Show, as well as the manifesto of the APC and previous manifestos that you states have been copied by some sections by the two major political parties. Stay with us here on the Natalie Fort Show. You're watching the Natalie Fort Show right here on GHOne TV, and I'm in conversation with Dr. Hassan Ayariga, founder and leader of the APC. We've touched on Boko, we've touched on Parliament and the Speaker and how you propose that it was better handled. Now, one thing that is critical, in spite of the fact that you say that Ghanaians are less policy-driven in terms of the decision on who to vote for, is the manifesto, right? And I have here the APC manifesto for 2020. I see that you're looking around. I don't know if you're looking for the printed copy of the 2024 manifesto, but we can make some reference to this now because there are a number of sections in it that you have said that specifically the NDC and the MPP, mainly the NDC has stolen. The flagship adapted, right? That's how you want it is more decent. Has adapted, right? Yes. And the 24-hour economy policy is the flagship policy of the NDC for this election. You say it's your initiative.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
You see, in 2020, if you look at page 30, item number 30.
Page 30?
31. Page 31.
Okay.
Item number 30 is there. APC.
Okay.
64 policies.
Item number 30. So that's, let me just read it out for our viewers. 24 hours production, 3-shift system for companies, business and workers.
Yes.
3-shift system.
Yes, 3-shift system. This is the purpose of the 24-hour economy. Now, let me explain my policies, and then you will see that it is item number 30 in the manifesto, except of the manifesto, not even number 1, because we're building institutions. The 2024 APC manifesto is centered on 7 major policies, which is digitalization, globalization, nationalization, commercialization, domestication, and then which other one? Yes. So when you look at these policies, you see that we're building Ghana on each specific pillar. Now, the first nationalization, the first
naturalization.
Policy, yes, it's the change of mindset. I'm using the naturalization. Now, as Kenyans, we need to begin to think about changing our mindset towards our country, towards the way we do things, towards our working ethics, towards building this country, and believing that there is no country except Ghana. And in order for us to build this country, we have to change our attitude and mindset and begin to think of Ghana first, becoming before another country.
Is that a policy?
Yes.
Is it, how easy is it to
easy,
track
first of all,
how
to
impactful
dialogue.
you're actually changing the mindset of Ghanaians?
Yes. Let them know their responsibilities. Change of mindset will teach Ghanaians to know their roles, their responsibilities in the country. They should understand that with that mindset that they have now, without making changes, the mindset of voting NDs and MPP is not going to help us. That we need leaders. We need to have a mindset of getting competent, dedicated, committed leaders that are going to build our country. That mindset should not be a mindset of sitting on the platform of MPP and NDC and thinking they are the saviors. No. And we must also, as President of the Republic of Ghana, you need to have practical discussions, updates of your country, where you want it to be, where you have gotten, for people to begin to follow you. It is when you use the media and every other institution to let the people know their stand, the state of their country, they will change their mindset. When the people believe in your leadership, that you are a credible leader, a honest leader, a dedicated leader, a non-corrupt, you are not corruptible, your people will begin to change their mindset towards building and helping you.
Now, I want us to investigate the 24-hour economy policy and digitalization some more. But just briefly before I get there, with regards to the change of mind, now, some would also argue that an environment can automatically change the manner in which a person operates. People have said, for instance, in more casual layman language, that there are Ghanaians who may travel abroad, and you find that a number of things that they do in Ghana, they're not doing
in here.
There,
the leadership there.
Right?
The leadership.
But the leadership, the system, and just observing
the
manner in which the system operates automatically
change the mindset.
But it automatically gets you into not doing certain things that you may typically do here, be it littering or just certain dynamics with work. Right?
That's what I said with the right
Isn't
leadership.
it, so when you correct the system, doesn't it automatically change the mind?
Beginning to change the mindset of the people is part of correcting the system. When the people don't change their mindset towards believing in the leadership that you are proposing, believing in your competence level and your transparency. Don't forget, transparency and accountability is very important in people's change of mindset. Right leadership is very important for people to change their mindset.
And you intend on being accountable by keeping the people updated.
They'll begin to change their mindset.
How are you going to keep them updated?
That is what I'm saying. Dialogue, using the media, proposing policies, telling them where our resources, what we're using their resources to. They begin. It's just like, let me tell you something. You have a family. Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
married.
I'll get you one husband. So now you're married, you have children, and every weekend you sit down with your family, your wife and children. You say, okay, this week I want to hear all of you. What are your challenges for the week? What do you want us to do for the week? What are your proposals? All of them will begin to say, okay, Daddy, this week I want this, I want to do this, I want to do that. This person will say, look, now discipline will be instilled in the family. The mindset
because there's
children,
that dialogue.
Because there's some dialogue.
Is this similar to what President Akufo-Addo now? During COVID, we had these monthly, also weekly, updates of President Akufo-Addo, which was quarterly.
Yes.
Was it? Was praised by quite a number of us. Quite impactful.
Thank you.
So you mean that?
And
not this was during a period of a crisis, but you are saying you consistently throughout one's presidency, keep them in the loop.
They must know what their money is being used for. When they know all that, they are willing to come out voluntarily to support the nation, to do roads, to clean their gutters, to clean their environment and make the city clean. Because you are taxing them to know their responsibilities and their role as citizens. You are making them know that you, as a president, this is your role. You are working 24 hours around the clock to change their country. They'll begin to love you.
You're keeping them in the loop. I mean, you're carrying them along.
So change of mindset will continue. That's number one. Number two will be Ghana and Ghanaians first.
Baumia has spoken about that as well.
Please,
in terms of
you just listen to me.
I'm listening
when I finish
listening
to
APC.
me, then you now know whether Baumia has spoken about it or not.
Please go on. Go ahead.
Okay. So now Ghana and Ghanaians first. We're losing everything to the foreigners. Our cocoa, our bauxite, our oil, our manganese, our timber, our mineral resources have been given out to foreigners, and we call it PPP. Foreigners have taken over, and Ghanaians are becoming 21st century slaves in their own country, owing nothing. I don't believe in that. I believe that Ghana is for Ghanaians first, and Ghanaians might prioritize. We must begin to know that local content, we must build the local content using our resources. We cannot be giving jobs to foreigners, and our own citizens are laborers. So what Baumia is saying is not entirely what I'm saying. Now you understand. And that every job, contracts must be given to foreigners, Ghanaians at first.
Ghanaian companies must be sourced first.
In any source, in any company you're looking for, Ghanaians must come first. In any business, in any field.
In the event that a Ghanaian company, not to sound pessimistic, but may not have the capacity, say, for a certain project.
That is why there's fund to support the Ghanaian businesses and industry. I'll come to that. You understand? Even when you go for loan, look at the banks. The banks are giving more loans to foreign companies than to giving to indigenous. Drive to Smithers Road, and you see that all the companies are owned by foreigners. They did not come here with any money. They came with sovereign. They came and used our country as sovereign guarantee and got the money from our people in their using it. If you're a businessman, you understand. We are losing our identity. We're losing the sovereignty to the foreigners. Sooner or later, I'll come to my other policy of 3 passports. Sooner or later, passports. Sooner or later, they'll bring in somebody to contest for the presidency of the Republic of Ghana. So if we don't protect the sovereignty of Ghana and make Ghanaians come first in every aspect, as president, I will cancel all form of contract and make Ghanaians number one.
You cancel existing contracts with
certain contract that is not
foreign
yes,
companies.
So policy number 1 and 2. Number 3, national data system. As a country, we don't have a data. We don't have systems. We have magnitudes of information that we gather.
Now, not to compare, but yes, we've had flag bearer of the MPP talking about digitalization.
Please again, if you allow me, I won't disgrace you. I will educate your people to understand the difference between Baumia's
proposal
and mine. They are totally different. Listen to me before you can ask the question of Baumia's proposal. A national data system. My national data system is to register the child born this morning until the last old man alive. Through your bio, your facial, your fingerprints, your information and everything. Then will come to your properties, your houses, your land, your cars, your number, the number plate of all the cars you have. Any property you own in Ghana will be captured. Then will come to your family, the wife, the number of children you have, their data, the number of information about your grandchildren. Every child of yours will be captured. Come to your blood sample. Your blood will be taken. Yes, your blood will be taken. Your blood, including your bank accounts, where you work, your bank accounts will be information of your. Let me finish. Then you can ask. The information of your bank accounts will be taken. That of your work, where you work, the number of jobs you do, all that information will be captured. Your GRA, everything about you is captured under the national data system. I'm now policing you as an individual. So I key in your name, say phone number, so. Then I press, your name will appear, Natalie, what family name will all come. If I key in Natalie, there'll be 1 million or 2 million Natalie. So I just add your date of birth and every information of Natalie will be out. This is the system I want. I'm building an infrastructural system, a data-driven economy based on data that every Ghanaian individual has. We have a data of every Ghanaian. And that data now will be given information for institutions like National Health Insurance Card. They will pick their data from it, Ghana card. We will now implement a new Ghana card not the one that has been compromised with so many foreigners' names.
That's the current
Ghana card. But people have 2-3 Ghana cards. Somebody is not a Ghanaian, he owns a Ghana card, and somebody has done a Ghana card, he cannot find it and all that. Ghana card is limited to certain data. So forget it. Forget the Ghana card. The national security will derive their data from the data system. Immigration will get their proper data from. So every day, the national data system is upgrading and feeding all the other irrelevant institutions because they cannot be capturing. So what do you call it?
So say you're sworn into office. How do we actually do this? I mean, as an individual, as a Ghanaian, am I to walk into whatever office and then present this information?
We're going to create offices in every community to build this system. In every community, we have an office to help build this, to collect this information to build this system. We have young men out there, the IT boys, those who have come from schools, they are now turned to Sakawa boys and all this. They have unique cybersecurity information. They are there, the cyber guys.
Now, I don't mean to compare yet again, but how then do you assess Dr. Bawumia's digitalization drive and going heavy on something similar to what you're
under
proposing?
My e-governance system. Because of this national data system, I'll be running an e-governance. Because without the data system, you cannot run digitalization. How do you run digitalization when you don't have proper data? You'll be picking 1 or 2 small information and calling it data. That is not data. Digitalization is not happening in Ghana. It's just a fact of picking certain institutions and adding up their data and like you people are doing. Your cameras are no more people standing behind it. You just fix a camera. That's what you do. That's why it's not Bawumia.
It's not comprehensive.
It's not Bawumia's doing. Is it from Bawumia? Is it from
so you're saying he's running on existing innovations by companies in the tech space?
So these things are what becomes digitalization of what do you call it? Thank God he did this GPS thing. They are all information.
Are you saying they're scattered? His
digitalization
drive is scattered.
Yeah, they're scattered all over. They are not coordinating.
They're not coordinated.
No, data system will coordinate every information. And so with the national data system, whatever you want to do, you get a fingertip. Okay. It gives you the information. So when you turn 18,
but it will take time to build. It will take time to build this infrastructure.
Lazy people think that we don't work. We need 8 hours to be president. I don't need 8 years to be president to do work. With my 4 years term, I will not run for president again.
You will use those 4 years to make sure it's as impactful as it can be.
If you are not working, even 8 years, you can't do anything. We are 8 years. Tell me. Our CD is 17 CDs against the dollar. We are paying the most highest price of every commodity in the market. So let me go. My policies will help you address this. So after the data system, the next point is a national development plan. All these while, our big politicians and our stakeholders have been shouting, national development plan, 20 years national development plan, 50 years national. What have we achieved from the national development? Nothing.
So you're going to create a national development plan of how many years?
Data system gives you the information to plan.
How long? What's the duration? How long is your national?
Immediately. Because when I have the data, I can plan quickly as possible.
Using the data.
Using the data. I will know the deficit in agriculture, in food security. I will know the deficit in the sciences.
So it will be a scientifically backed
Yes, I will know the deficit in healthcare. I know the deficit in every sector with the data. Okay. So it helps me to build the first policy, a national development plan.
Right.
Once I begin to plan this, even students, when they're coming out of school, they're no more going to come and become a burden.
You would know which industry
they're going. And I'll know the kind of students I want to train with the data, whether I want to train the sciences, the arts, or whatever, the business. So with the national data, we now move to national development. Now the national development will now make us turn Ghana into production, manufacturing, and industrial hub. When we turn Ghana, we now begin to produce the food we eat, the food we import. We spend $1.2 billion importing rice every year, over $800 million importing oil, and all that. So we turn Ghana into a production, manufacturing, and industrial hub. Turning Ghana into a production and manufacturing means that we have to produce, manufacture, and industrialize. And before we do that, I will come with another policy called one of my biggest policies called the economic lockdown.
Okay, briefly explain that.
I will lock down the economy after 1 year when we import all the raw materials, like the way we locked down under pandemic. What did we learn from the pandemic lockdown? Nothing. We only thought of Russian-Ukraine war being the cause of our incompetence and our crisis. No, we should have learned something from Russian-Ukraine war, and we didn't. I did. So I am going to now lock the economy down to make Ghana a production, manufacturing, industrial hub.
And by locking down, you mean not importing?
Not importing. So we're now going to produce 24 hours.
Be forced to produce.
We are going to now begin to produce as if there's no any other country in this country. Manufacture as if there's no any other country. Industrialize as if there's no any industries in the world. So it is Ghana. So we are locking down our borders. No import, no export. Until we build this Ghana to have enough raw materials and food to consume and to export. And before we can do that, what it means is that we are now going to increase our workforce. To increase our workforce, bring me to the 24-hour economy.
Right.
Now where we have to now run a 24-hour economy, 8 hours for production in the morning, 8 hours manufacturing in the afternoon, 8 hours of industrialization in the evening. Thereby running a 3-shift system and Ghana working 24 hours non-stop.
So your 24-hour economy policy is off the back of locking down our economy.
It's part of it. It's locking down the economy, making Ghana production, manufacturing.
Does the NDC understand the 24-hour economy policy that is being proposed?
They don't. The understanding of the 24-hour economy is totally different from my understanding. What I'm telling you, I am the originator of the 24-hour economy. So listening to me, you will understand that what I'm telling you is totally different from what they are telling you. So because we work 8 hours a day and we sleep 16 hours. A country that sleeps more than 2 hours cannot be a productive and economically independent. We've gained independence with our strength, but our mind is still not economically independent. We still borrow. We're borrowing from nations. We are becoming beggars in every country.
Now, you generated this 24-hour economy policy. In a minute, help Ghanaians understand what it is, because many say that the NDC have failed to. So in a minute, kindly do so for me.
I am talking.
We'd have to make use.
So we spend 8 hours working, and in the 8 hours, we drive 1 hour to work. Drive us 1 back home. We play games 1 hour. We use 1 hour for break. We bet 1 hour. Then we work 3 hours, and it's not productive. I am going to make you run 24-hour economy. Every Kenyan worker will work 2 shifts, and we have to import. Yes, we have to import labor. The 24-hour economy will not allow us. The labor force we have cannot sustain the 24-hour economy. It cannot.
The labor force
cannot in Ghana cannot sustain. Because the production, manufacturing, industry, we are going to increase productivity 24 hours round the clock. So the 3-4 million, 6 million Ghanaians workforce or 8 million cannot sustain those works.
So essentially, you're saying that the 24-hour economy, even whether be put forward by the APC, by the NDC, is not feasible because we do not have.
I am telling you what we have to do to be able to achieve the 24-hour economy. I'm not shouting 24-hour economy. I am telling you, I'm building institutions, and the institutions one after the other. We are building it on top. So 24-hour economy. Now we go to labor force. What is the purpose? Labor force. Their welfare is important. In Ghana today, we take monthly salary. And because it's monthly salary, when you take your salary, less than 1 week, your salary is finished. And it becomes very difficult for you to sustain yourself.
Right.
So APC and Hassan Ayariga, after introducing 24-hour economy, increasing labor force, I'm now going to change the salary structure to be bi-weekly salary structure. What it means is that Ghanaians will now be taking 2-week salaries.
You collect salary every 2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks, and no more 1 month. So all workers in Ghana will now be earning 2 weeks salary. Then we move on. The welfare. You see, the labor force Act 2003, 651, patch labor force monthly wage and minimum wage at 18 cedis 99. I'm going to change it from 18 cedis 99 to make it 150 to 300 Ghana cedis monthly, a daily wage. And now increase monthly wage from the 1,000 Ghana cedis to 5,000 Ghana cedis every month. So I'm also increasing the labor force from 150. Then the next one, for production, manufacturing, and industries to be able to produce at a lower cost, I will implement free duty, free port. There's goods and raw materials that will come to Ghana are going to be duty free. Your car that is coming, you don't pay duty anymore. So duty free economy. So goods and raw materials will produce at a very low cost. And then this. Now the next policy is ECG. The companies are producing at a very high cost. And because they are very cost, they can't break even. So prices of goods and services in the market are increasing every day. In order to be able to continue to build this policy, you have to be able to cushion the industries, manufacturing and companies and production companies to produce at a very low cost. In doing that, I will give them duty-free and flat rate. So right now, ECG, no household, single story will pay more than 200 Ghana cedis a month. So every household will pay 200 Ghana cedis. Shops and offices will pay 100 Ghana cedis. Saloon, barbering shops, containers, all these shops will pay 50 Ghana cedis.
That is it. It doesn't go beyond
it doesn't go beyond it. Same as water. Because they are producing at a very high cost. And when they are producing at a high cost with ECG, you can imagine how much. Storage building like this will pay 200 a month. Compound houses, all other houses, I have calculated and I know how much Ghanaians are going to pay. So production will be very low. So as a country, when we now have free port, flat rates for water and electricity, I have to come in as government to regulate the market. So there's going to be.
You didn't mention security though.
I'm counting, but you are already stopping me. So I don't have the much time. So I'm going to pick those that I want you to hear very quick, and then we can wrap up. Right. Then I'm now going to have what you call price guarantee and control system. That every commodity in the market will be determined by the government. Nobody will increase the prices of goods and services anymore. We're losing everything. Most of the prices of goods in the market will be determined by, because I'm giving you free port. You're not paying duty free for the prices. You're not paying high electricity for it. You're not paying high water for it. So you cannot increase the price the way you want. No. I must control that too.
That would be regulated.
That would be regulated. So that Ghanaian citizens will now pay very less. The most expensive commodity in the world is in Ghana. Anything in Ghana is the most expensive. This pen is cheaper than any part of the world because of duty. People cannot clear. Now we're losing the harbor, and people are moving their goods from Ghana to Togo to clear, and the harbors are empty because of duty. You can't bring car and clear. So your car will be duty free. You are not paying duty for your car. You are not paying duty for your container. You are not paying duty for your item, raw materials you bring. It's free. You pay taxes. I'm implementing only 5 taxes, and you can clear and go and produce, cushioning the Ghanaian citizen. Let them produce at a very low cost. Ghanaians can now afford and become sustainable in their country.
Right. Now, finally,
I have so many policies. I can't finish. No time, but as time goes on, we continue. I am Hassan Ayariga. That is going to be the hashtag. I am Hassan Ayariga. I am the man to change this country. I am bringing policies and not promises. 7th December, I know many of you are tired of voting NDC and MPP. I am equally tired of seeing NDC and MPP on the ballot. I'm equally tired of people coming every day complaining about the hardship which is real, the economic hardship that is real. People are suffering, and now we don't even know. We are becoming magicians. Our salary cannot sustain us. We are paying the high cost of goods and services in the world, and our salary is adding. It's not changing. It's not increasing. So 7th December, as I speak to you, some of you are watching and listening to me. Do not make an excuse by saying that because I didn't come to your community, you didn't see me in your community, you will not vote for me. You are not voting for the communities. You are voting for yourself and changing the communities. You are not going to vote for my presence in your community. You are voting for APC and Hassan Ayariga to change your lifestyle and your leadership, your country. So I ask you, I say you, look at me. Number 9 is on the ballot. I am the broom, the APC. I run an inclusive government because I believe in all of you. When I become president, every Ghanaian will have work, and no Ghanaian will be a burden to another Ghanaian under my leadership. Your son will not be a burden to you. Your child will not be a burden to you. Your student will not be a burden. That is my responsibility as a father of the nation, and I will make them the best out of the best. That Ghana will stand tall among the rest of the world. That Ghana will change. Ghana will be the provider of the world. We will change our economy, transform our country. That people will now beg our embassies to get visas to come to Ghana, and not the other way around. And I will not encourage any of my citizens leaving this country. Stay with me. Let's build our own. This is our country. This is the country we should be proud of. This is the country we must build, and not the country we must desert. I will not desert you. Don't desert me. 7th of December, the ballot is number 9, Hassan Ayariga and the broom. I thank you for listening. God bless our homeland Ghana and make it great and strong. I thank you.
Dr. Hassan Ayariga, thank you so much for sitting with me here on the Natalie Fort Show and sharing your vision.
Thank you, Natalie.
For Ghana. Do stay with us on the Natalie Fort Show. We lighten it up as we round up with Dr. Hassan Ayariga with Fantastic, as always. Stay with us. It's that time of the show for Fantastic with Dr. Hassan Ayariga. Now, you're so passionate about all of this that the game can't be too far removed from presidency. So it's titled Leaders' Dilemmas, right? Imagine...
Again?
Yes.
Okay.
Imagine you're president and you must choose between investing in education or infrastructure. Which would you prioritize?
Infrastructure is part of education.
Which would you prioritize?
Infrastructure.
Infrastructure, okay.
Education is part.
Okay, very well.
Education is included
in infrastructure. You need the infrastructure for education.
Yes.
Would you rather have experienced politicians or fresh faces in your cabinet?
Both.
Would you rather?
One. Both.
No, you have to pick one. Would you rather have experienced politicians or fresh faces forming your cabinet?
Wow. I would, for Ghana, country like Ghana, I'll take the fresh.
If negotiating,
the politicians are those with experience are corrupt.
All right. Now, if negotiating with a foreign leader,
I will build the fresh.
You will build fresh.
Because they will listen to me, buy into the idea, help me build
with a new spirit.
Yes,
yes. If negotiating with a foreign leader, what would be your top priority?
On what?
If
Ghana,
negotiating with a foreign leader, as president of Ghana, if negotiating with a foreign leader,
Ghana will be my priority.
Ghana will be priority.
Yeah, Ghana will be my priority. Nothing more, nothing less. Ghana, my country, not his. My priority is Ghana because I'm the president of Ghana, and my priority is building my country. That would be my priority. Ghana. Yes, Ghana will be my priority.
Okay, very well. That does it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You have. Thank you so much for being on the show. It's been a pleasure.
Having a long chat with you.
Pleasure is ours. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have patience with me.
It's all good.
I am
looking forward to December.
I am eager to build Ghana. That's what I said. I'm not in a rush to be president, but I'm in a rush to change
the crisis in Ghana. Very well. Dr. Hassan Ayariga, founder and leader of the APC. And that does it for the Natalie Fort Show this evening here on GHOne TV. As always, we leave you with something on Natalie's take. Now, I wouldn't want to make it too wordy, but of course, Dr. Hassan Ayariga is from Boko. We see what's going on in Boko. And the message I'd want to leave you with is, as he puts it, Ghana first. We're all Ghanaian. And so despite no matter where you're from, which tribe you are, Ashanti, Akan, Eastern, wherever, Ghana first. And all of us should ensure that this situation in Boko does not escalate any further. Whatever we can do to ensure that there is peace, let us do so. Let's put Ghana first and prioritize peace come December 7 and forever with our country, Ghana. Thank you so much for watching the Natalie Fort Show. Have a beautiful evening.